Hello everybody, this is a video tutorial about adding a glossary activity in Moodle course. A Moodle glossary is a repository tool that provides a way for students and teachers to add items that automatically categorized alphabetically. The ability for students to add materials in this way provides options for them to be actively involved in creating and evaluating content individually and with their classmates. This means that glossaries can be used to extend interactive learning tasks in the course design. Ideas for using glossary activity. There are lots of different ways to use the glossary and usually for students to create its content. The options include 1. Student definitions of terms. Ask students to add their definitions of words in a way their peers can understand. Where appropriate, they may add an example or a picture. 2. Student explanation of definitions or formula. This can be useful in the sciences especially. 3. Examples. Students create examples. For example, their exam questions with answers. Example constructions with descriptions, example of cities with directions, and any other examples. Setting up the glossary. Creating the template. With editing turned on, click on Add an activity or resource. Select the glossary. By clicking once in the glossary, it will show you a description about the glossary and all information might help you in using the glossary. Then click on Add. It will open a new window which allows you to define the settings for your glossary. First, general block. Fill in the activity name and instructions for your students, and let's call it glossary. And in the description we might put a general description for this glossary or any other instructions we need our students to follow while doing this glossary, but here only we will write the word description. Glossary type. Do we want this glossary to be a secondary glossary or a main glossary? Entries. We click on entries to see what things to edit. Here as a teacher, determine how you wish the student to add their entries. Students might manage their work. Students can give feedback to their peers' contribution. If the duplicate word is found in text or in the course, it is highlighted. So those are the options. I will allow them to edit. I will allow duplicated entries. I will allow them to comment on their peers, and it automatically links glossary to entries. Appearance. You might wish to keep this at the default style. Check this out or leave it default settings. Other parts are the grade, ratings, and common module settings, restrict access. Those are there for any activity in Moodle, so we leave it because we are going to explain it for all of the activities and resources in Moodle in another lesson. So when you finish, save and return to your course. And here we have the glossary ready to be used. Adding entries to the glossary. Click on the glossary and it's the same for the teacher or student. You will see that you have an empty page here. So me as a teacher, I can add a new entry and let's say the concept or the term is Moodle, for example. I give a definition, keywords which could mean Moodle also, so I might say e-learning system, and I might add or attach a file or an image or maybe the Moodle logo. Linking entries to the main course page. Some glossaries tasks can use a link to the main Moodle page as a means to increase the depth of learning in different course tasks. So let's say this entry should be automatically linked. This entry case sensitive, no. Match whole words only, no, I don't want it to be this much fixed, so I save changes and I go back to my glossary front page. We see here that if we add any new glossary object, it will be organized by alphabet order or any other way I want. Here we have only one definition, Moodle, and the keywords we added, e-learning system, and a student is enabled to comment on this one. Adding the random glossary block. First set up your glossary, and we have our glossary here. Then go to the main course page, turn editing on, editing is on now, and find add a block in the side column. This is add a block. We click on add a block, we'll find a random glossary entry. It's here. To link the new random glossary entry block to our glossary, we click on this button, go to configure random glossary entry block. It will give us here the options to edit this block. So we could change the title, choose the glossary where those entries will take their objects from, and we have only one glossary and its name is glossary. And there are many other options we can define for this certain block. Days before a new entry is chosen, and we say 0, let's say 1, because this will show one entry every day. How a new entry is chosen, it's random because we called it random. Show concept heading for each entry, and for example the object we have added was Moodle, so it will show the word Moodle only. And other options here where this block appears, it's for any block in Moodle interface, and we save changes. Let's see our random glossary entry block. It's here and it's showing the word Moodle and the definition. We could add a new entry to our glossary which we have chosen, or we could view all of the entries. That's it for this lesson. See you in the next lesson.